need to have a serious discussion about something that's going down in the witchcraft community right now. This is happening across all social media, so we can't just blame TikTok this time. Every single social media I've seen this on. And I understand that people are coming from a good place. I understand that they're trying to help with a very difficult, very negative situation. But this is one of those times that, as much as I love my witchcraft community and as much as it is an enormous part of my identity and my daily life, I think it's important to take a step back sometimes and call out your community when they're doing something harmful, whether it's deliberate or not. What's going on is a direct effect of the draft leak that came out about potentially overturning Roe v. Wade. Now, this is not something that has happened yet. It is just a draft. There's no telling whether it will actually go through or not. But if it did, it's kind of obvious why people are so upset about it, along with what would come next along with it. So emotions are running high right now. People are immediately acting on their emotions. People are immediately speaking on their emotions. And it's understandable. Whatever you're feeling about this right now is valid. Whatever emotion you're feeling is understandable, and you have every right to feel however you do about this. However, if you are going to go on a platform with millions of people and say, hey, I have a solution for your problem, you need to be 100% sure that, one, you are correct about what you're educating them on, and two, if you are trying to educate people who are not from your particular group, you have to be so careful about the language that you use. And that's what we're talking about today. I've seen a lot of witches go on TikTok, on Facebook, on Instagram, on YouTube, and say, I know that if they ban contraceptives or abortion or anything of the sort, a lot of people are going to get it in an unsafe way, and people are trying to avoid that to the best of their ability. They don't want these back alley abortions happening. No one should want that. It's awful. It will potentially take the life of the person trying to obtain the abortion, and we don't want that. We don't need needless bloodshed in this. That's why I say I think it's coming from a good place. I think people are honestly trying to help. But what's happening is I'm seeing this influx in videos like, I make the tincture myself. I make exactly the solution you need for your problem. Hit me up online and I will send it to you in the mail. Most tinctures are going to contain a liquid. Not every liquid will make it through the post. You have to be really careful about that stuff. You generally need to declare whatever it is that you're sending to someone, and either you or the person receiving the package could get in big trouble for the contents because it's very difficult for you to prove what is in a tincture. Secondly, I know a lot of us don't want to think about this because groups that are generally not treated very well don't want to always admit that there are bad eggs in that group, but there are bad eggs in witchcraft just like there are in any other group. And the thing is, you are still a stranger to that person. We don't all know each other personally. We may interact online, but at the end of the day, a majority of us will never meet one another. We will never have a face-to-face conversation. We are strangers. The best we have is a parasocial relationship to one another. And it doesn't matter how trustworthy you think someone is. It doesn't matter how much you like their content. At the end of the day, you do not know that person and you do not know their intentions. They could tell you that they have a tincture of, no more baby solution, but in reality, it could have something very dangerous in it. Or they could honestly be coming from a good place, but be new to their craft and accidentally give you too much of the herb, or give you the wrong herb and end up causing you greater harm. On top of this, these witches online, a majority of them that I've seen anyway, are not explaining the possible negative effects of these plants to people. They're just kind of saying, go off and get this, go off and take this, and it will solve your problems, when in reality, you have to be very, very careful. Holistic solutions are not for everyone. A lot of herbal remedies do not react well with mental health medication. Some of them do not react well with hormonal medications. You could end up putting someone in the hospital because it either completely nullifies the medications that they're currently on, or it reacts badly with it. And there's no telling what they're on, and frankly, it's none of your business to ask them if you are not a medical professional. I know we're coming from a good place here. I know we're trying to help people and that we're acting out of fear and out of emotion, and that's understandable. But you have to make sure you are an absolute expert, not only in the plants you're offering people, but also in medical care. If you are not a medical doctor, you should not be prescribing anything to someone else. If you are not a medical doctor, you should not be saying, this is the best remedy for this, that, or the other thing, because at the end of the day, no matter how much you've Googled it, you simply do not know. You can offer suggestions. You can say, well, in my personal experience or in the experience of people I've known, this is what this plant did for them, but before trying it, please make sure you speak to your medical doctor and make sure it is not going to harm you. That's one thing, but that is not what's happening. Instead, I'm seeing this influx in videos just telling people to go out and take something that, whether you find it outside or in a pharmacy, is still a medicine of some kind or another. And we're yelling this over Indigenous voices. There are a lot of Indigenous people who have been saying, hey, be careful out there. We know our plants, and that's not something you should be messing with. And people are going, no, 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 it worked for me, therefore it's going to work for everyone else. That's another issue that's popping up. People are so scared and scrambling for a solution before there's even a problem yet. Remember, it hasn't been overturned. Right now, you can still safely get an abortion. It is good to start looking at other solutions. Try to study, really study solutions. Go to medical doctors about this, ones that you can trust, ones that you've, had abortions through in the past, or ones that are pro-choice, and try to get ideas from them on what to do if this ends up going through. But yeah, it's been a minute since I had a witchy type video on this channel. This is not the type that I was planning on making, but I thought it was extremely important to bring up as a witch because I'm just seeing a lot of things that could end up unintentionally bringing harm to people when I know that is not what they're trying to do. Just please do your research, help other people do their research, and make sure that you're doing this stuff safely. We don't want these people to get harmed further. But until next time, do something that makes you happy today, as long as you're not hurting anyone else, and I'll see everyone again.